that was literally like 2 months ago, and they've just been sitting there for like 2 months and crickets. And then all of a sudden I got a sale. So what you guys are seeing now is me creating the product. I will tell you guys, okay, let me tell you, I really have got to do a better job of like writing down the steps that I took to make these things, because y'all saw me doing product development and how many times I tried things and it didn't work, tried things and it didn't work. So I really didn't write down what I was doing that actually worked. I just like made it, and then if it didn't work, I scrapped it. And if it did work, I kept it as like a prototype. And so I have the prototype, and I was thinking in my mind, okay, well, it will be nothing to just like duplicate this as long as I've got the prototype. That is not the case. Okay. The time that it took me to replicate this booklet is wild. So it started out good and everything was going according to plan. But it did take a lot more time than it should have, because I simply just did not have a process ironed out. So like what order to print things in, like, you know, if I had unlimited ink and unlimited supplies, then I would just hit print on the entire file. But that just is not wise, you know, because I have a lot of little small things that just would go in the packaging that if I ran out of ink, you know, they could be scrapped. It's not, you know, a big deal. So you want to make sure you print the actual product pages first. And so just trying to think through what needs to be printed right now and what doesn't. Also, printing from PDF versus printing from an image file makes a difference, because if it's a double-sided item, the way I put it in the printer is different if it's a PDF file versus if it's with a image file. You wouldn't think that makes a difference, but apparently it does. And so the number of times that, you know, I wrote down, hey, this is how you put it back in the printer if you need to print double-sided, but it ended up being wrong because I was printing, you know, either PDF or JPEG, and I don't know which is which in terms of which way to put it. So the number of times I had to reprint stuff because it was, you know, on the wrong side, double-sided. I've also had issues with ink. Apparently you guys saw that I bought the printer off of what is that website? I forgot. It's called OfferUp. It's like an eBay website. So I bought that used printer off of there, and I had a lot of problems with the coloring and getting that squared away, and I got all that together. But now I'm having issues with ink, where I'm trying to use, you know, manufactured ink. Well, what is it? I think it's remanufactured. I don't know, but anyway, it's basically the reused ink, so that I don't have to, you know, buy the name brand. And apparently they program the printers to reject it. So sometimes it'll work and sometimes it won't. And so I've had issues with that. And so it has been a journey, okay, just trying to get products together. And so just printing out the stuff to even get to this point was, you know, some time. Okay, it took some time. So finally got everything printed out, and I went ahead and started making it, and it was going really, really well. I was just basically using the prototype to kind of, you know, lead me on, you know, what goes where, when to do this, blah, blah, blah. And then I got so close to the end, and putting in the pocket on the right side drove me absolutely nuts. And you guys are going to see, I am literally showing you footage of like when it went well until it got to that point. When it got to that point of me putting in the right folder, I ended up just cutting the camera off because I got so frustrated. It took me so long to get it together. And so there was a lot of things that I realize now what I need to do to fix it. But during the process, it was just like, why is this not working? So, and then there's a lot of upgrades that I made. Okay, so the original one that I did, I had some really hard cardstock. It was a little bit harder than cardstock. It was like, I don't even know what kind of paper it was, but it was this paper I had bought thinking it was cardstock. And no, actually I thought it was chipboard, and it wasn't. It was just like hard cardstock, but it wasn't chipboard. And so it was more flimsy than chipboard. But I went ahead and made the prototypes with it because I was like, maybe this will work. And so the original was made with that, but it just wasn't, it was still a little bit more flimsy than what I wanted for the price point that I wanted to be able to charge. So I did go ahead and order some chipboard. And so like the wallets that you guys saw, they're made out of chipboard. Like, I tried to make the things out of more sturdy items so that, they don't fall apart. And so I made the one for this order with the chipboard, and that affected how the workbook closed, and so it didn't close as easy, and it also affected how much space I needed to leave in the spine for it to close. And so I didn't realize that until I started having issues with the folder. I was having issues with the folder because I was making the folder the size of that sheet of chipboard on the right side, but it was too small for the pages to fit in. And so I made it twice, and it just would not fit the pages, partly because the pages are cardstock, because again, everything I try to make it sturdy, and so the pages are cardstock, and so I couldn't fit the pages in the folder. And then even when I was able to get the pages in the folder, like I did a test with like just 2 pages, and the total is like 8 or 9 pages. And so it was just like torture trying to get that thing in there. And so what happened is the spine, if I would have left more space on the spine, I would have been able to make the folder larger, but I couldn't make it any larger without it like going past the cover of the book. So I just had to fuss and fight with it until I can get it as close as I could to where I could put it in there, but it does not go in easy. So I will address that going forward. But I finally got it done. And what I ended up having to do was just make the folder separate. I literally had to just make a sleeve and put the papers in there and make sure it fit, and then glue the sleeve to the workbook. So it was a lot. But I finally got the workbook done. And so I'll show you guys the final product, but I am so excited. You guys, I got an Etsy sale. You just do not understand how long my Etsy store has been sitting there with no sales. And what I have been doing is, you guys know, we talked about last video, I was going to do the market, and I was telling you guys that I was going to do a video and show you guys the footage of me making everything for the market. And so before I could get a chance to edit all that footage, which I will try to finish editing and get that as the next video, but before I could even finish editing all that footage for a video, I got the Etsy sale. So then I had to drop everything and like get everything ready for the order. And so I got it made. You guys will see in a minute the final product. It came out so beautiful. Oh my gosh, it came out so beautiful. Another change I had to make was the cover. I used that hard cardstock, and it was in black, and the cover of the book it's not black. You'll be able to see the colors. You see the colors, and it's like not black. And so but chipboard is like, this weird grayish color. And so obviously I can't have, the cover showing that like on the sides and stuff. And so traditional hardback books are bound, like meaning that they're wrapped. And so I had some leftover vinyl that was like this beautiful, like sparkly bluish purple color, and I hadn't used it. I had just bought it thinking it would match something, and it didn't match any of the wallets that I was doing. And so I just had it sitting there, and I was like, well, I could just wrap it in this, because it's like you can't see it from the front, but when you try to like look to the sides or look at the top, like you could see it. And it just is something that the customer probably wouldn't notice, but for me, I'm like, I don't want to put my name on that. So I just wrap it in it, and it's just like, it's very subtle, very faint. You can barely see it, but the vinyl is so thick and such a good quality that it just makes the book itself feel, sturdier and more luxurious, and it makes the spine more sturdy. Because before, I literally had that little gold strip of fabric, and then the gold washi tape, And that was basically the only thing holding the spine together. And so again, at every step I tried to make it more sturdy and a higher quality product, and it came out so beautiful. I mean, it is so stunning. I am so happy about it. I know the customer's gonna love it, and I'm so happy. I got my first Etsy sale. So you guys, thank you so much for coming along with me on this journey. I'm going to show you the final product, and please like, share, and subscribe. We are going to do amazing things on this channel. I'm so excited. I cannot wait. I'm going to get the other video edited so you guys can see what I did for the market prep for all the other products. And I still have to get those products up on Etsy. So I got a lot to do, but in the meantime, I'm going to get this order out to this customer. Thank you so much for your order. And you guys, I'm so excited. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. God bless you on your journey to freedom. So just to compare, you guys, so this was the prototype one. You can see it's got a few issues. Like you got this where the tape's not all the way over there. This is the black part I was telling you guys about, and like you can see like on the side you can see it, so it's just a little bit, but this is the black paper that I was telling you guys that I used. It's a little flimsy, but this was like supposed to be harder than cardstock. And so this was the sample. This is the one that was I took pictures of for the website. So it had a few issues. Like I was using double-sided tape, and you see how it like the jewels kind of slid back from the tape. And then again, this is, you see how this bends, so it's like flimsy. Don't mind my Pepsi over there. But anyway, this bends, and so it's a little flimsy. And so like everything else is like fine. It's just, you know, I was just wanted to increase the quality a little bit. And so again, you can see like just a little bit like the black that just kind of shows through like at the bottom there. So that's what I was telling you about that, but just a few changes that I wanted to make. So, but this is what I was going off of when I was making the one for the order. And this is the one for the order. Guys, I love it. It came out so nice. Absolutely love it. And I printed a few extra sheets of the paper that's in there, the notes, and I don't know how I'm gonna package them in there because they're just loose. And I'll tell you guys about, you know, this is what I was telling you about, like it doesn't close all the way, but I did put some weights on it, so like it closes more than it did, so I think that's good. So but you can see like the sample here, like it closes really easy, but it closes really easy because it's so flimsy. So this one is a lot more sturdy. So like this one, it's cardstock, it's very hard and it's not bending. And so this is what it looks like on the inside. So there's a pocket here with some items, pocket here with some items. And so these are the pockets that didn't give me any problems because, you know, they're huge pockets, so the stuff fits in easily. This is the pocket that I was telling you guys about that gave me an absolute fit. Trying to get this pocket to get these pages to actually fit in here, it was just a pain in the rear, and that is why these are like just loose over here, because the pocket's already jam-packed full and it was hard to get the paper in there. You see it goes like to the very, very end. So I didn't want to chance it and like break the pocket. So I don't know how my package was in there, but this is how it turned out, you guys. So this is getting ready to be packed up to go to its new home. I would show you guys a packing video. Oh, and this is the vinyl. You see how glittery and sparkly and beautiful that is? This is what I was telling you about, that I wrapped it so it wouldn't have that black sticking out. So that just like, it just makes it feel so like fancy and luxurious. You guys know that's like that's my middle name, right? Fancy, luxurious. That is what I wanted, and so it just looks so beautiful. So you got your gold and everything on the front, which is, you know, the colors that I wanted on there, but then just that little peak of the glitter on the edges, and it just turned out so beautiful. So this is on its way to its new home, and I just absolutely love it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to pack this up off to its new home, my first Etsy order. I'm so excited. Stay tuned, you guys. Exciting things are coming. I am Amanda Nicole, and I am the CEO of Freedom Through Divorce. And so I create personal development courses and ebooks and all kinds of things that are geared towards women of God who have been through divorce, who are considering divorce, and who want to move towards freedom and finding their purpose in God. So, what is Freedom Through Divorce? Well, Freedom Through Divorce is actually an online school full of personal development courses for women of God who have been through divorce or who are considering divorce. Anyone who has had to deal with divorce understands that it is extremely difficult. There are so many balls that you have to juggle. Will the children be okay? Is this something that God is going to be okay with? How does it affect my relationship with God? How am I going to learn how to be independent as a new single person or a new single mom? And there's so many things you have to consider. And as a Christian, there are just so few resources out there to help you understand how to navigate those things. So this is a school that really goes from considering divorce and understanding God's views on divorce, when it's acceptable, when it's not acceptable, and understanding that there are so many more cases where God sees divorce as acceptable than what is normally taught out there. And it does it in a way that is not condescending, that's not judgmental, that is just giving you the information from God's heart. And most importantly, is from someone that's been through what you're going through. It's not just theology. It's not just I read this or I heard this, but it's someone that's actually walked through it. So the personal development courses are meant to help you move and experience freedom through divorce, because there's so many people who they get a divorce, but they don't thrive afterwards. They stay stuck. They stay bitter. They stay telling anyone that'll listen how terrible their ex is. And that's not God's plan for you. God wants you to be able to move towards the purpose and plan that He has for your life and to thrive so that the chapter of your life post-divorce is better. That's what the word says. It says your latter days shall be greater than the former days. So that's what Freedom Through Divorce is all about. It's personal development courses that you can take the information from a biblical perspective and experiencing God's freedom, His prosperity, His love, His joy, His peace, all of the fruits of the Spirit and the blessings that He sent His Son to die for you to be able to have. Just because you've had to go through a divorce does not mean that you are negated from the promises that God has for you. So that's what Freedom Through Divorce is. If you're interested in learning more, visit our school today.